look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look like. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands in your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get to fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my zip the back that like a popo. Don't do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a polio. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. From the got in the gently. Angry and friends with these. When I was down, I so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm like mistletoe. This my own. Not gonna lost on these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. And up, give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on Yay Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Everyone's got four down.
On second down, here's Miller. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Target.
Out of the gun, Watson. And he finds his man, Griffin. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. Fournette, a first down, still going. And finally brought down at the 43. 38 yards on the scamper there.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play.
Hunch right. 11B.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And as these guys interplay in Week 17, we know one thing. They are playoff bound, but they want to win that division title. They told us that is a goal that's been posted in their locker room since day one. They've got the chance to control their own destiny.
And there's nothing more powerful than saying that you won the division because I know from building a team, when I talk with all the GMs and the player personnel directors, they always talk about to get to the playoffs in the NFL, you have to have a team that's constructed to win your division. Beat those teams first. That's your #1 path to getting there, and they can get that done in this game.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup, 41 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a play fake here on 1st down. On the crossing route, complete. That's Hopkins. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Texans have taken the early extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses.
39, Lucy.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. 20, 10, 5. A big play there on the catch and run. 68 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That false start costly. Moves him back to the 9 now, 1st and goal. After the penalty, it's Fournette. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Ouch. Could have been a game-tying touchdown. They'll have to hold on that at least for now.
Ouch in a big way. Like ripping the Band-Aid off there. Can they let the sting subside and come back and get it done?
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. Bortles now to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's it, baby.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Hey. Down. Back 22.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. A limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Come back.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's going to air one out. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And now out come the Jags. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now they try the right side here. And he spins past him and into space. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Lucy.
They go play action here on first down. They're connecting here with DJ Shark. A big play there on the catch and run. 67 yards.
A lot of receivers see the drag route as a risk-reward type of a play. The risk, going into the middle of the field where there's some big people who want to hit you. But the reward is oftentimes you get lost in coverage, running a little bit underneath. And when you catch it just right, as we just saw there, the end result can be a big, big play.
And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Lucy. Hey, 54, Ricky.
Bortles to throw on second down. And that'll be incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have, it's chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Lambeau will put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they can very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing.
Reset.
And here's Marshall. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's just running the ball 101 because too much east-west, not enough north-south. Got to get upfield, don't you?
They just kept stringing him out. Before he knew it, he had hit the sideline.
Richmond.
From the gun on third, Watson trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They run a draw here on second down. And he'll go down at the 28. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Pretty move. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Let's go.
Now a carry for the fullback. This is Tommy Bohanna. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on second and goal? They'll give it to him right up the gut. Give him 3 on the gain there. Second and goal. Now the Jags are moving quickly in the hurry-up.
And thus far in this NFL season, no touchdown scored for him, and he's not going to get it on that play either.
He's going to get it running right. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Corey Grant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. This is Miller. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Come back, come back.
On second down, here's Watson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty. Can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Come back, come back.
Throwing again is Watson. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. On first down, it's Watson. Flushed out right, and that is incomplete here.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. Got a man open, it's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, as the first half is winding down, and the Texans are in for 6. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And a reception made by Dante Moncrief. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Green 80. Green 80. Lucy.
On first down, Bortles. He's going to look deep down the field. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. A good pickup there at 22.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Bunch right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
372. Move. Hey, let's go.
From the gun, it's Bortles. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Over the middle, hauled in by Sharp. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On second down, here's Bortles. Safarian Jenkins has it, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a first and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
From the 2 now, second and goal. They come out here in the I. They'll run for it with Hyde. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it third and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Corey Grant with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now 17-14. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it again with Miller. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Key 26. Can't block me.
Out of the gun, Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Hey, spread left.
Bortles now on first down. Steps away to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Grant. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. The former number 1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. And Lambeau will put this one through, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They begin with a run by Miller. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Richmond.
And again this time to the tailback. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Come back.
From the gun, here's Watson. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the other. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Brandon Dunn coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags.
Lucy.
In his own end zone, it's Bortles. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. And here comes the Texans now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. On 1st down, Watson. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Miles Jack able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap for Watson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now Watson operating from the gun. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Calais Campbell, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be from 49 yards out. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. On the stop, Stephon Anthony with a tackle.
Well, Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. And I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator, he's going to get his play sheet. He can't find it either.
A big loss there on the pass completion. Open man right side is Shark. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 20. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down. And they'll run it here. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On third down, it's Grant, and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Corey Grant, a 3-yard touchdown run, and the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
Richmond.
Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Eluding the pressure right. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it's looking like the Jags are going to win this football game. The Jaguars getting set to go. They're in a good spot. 2-possession game, barely, but a 2-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing anything crazy to happen, because we've seen nutty things happen down the stretch, but they also have the security of the scoreboard. With that type of a lead, even if something goes haywire, they're still in good shape.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Sunday.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
The ball down at the 1 as they come up after the penalty on another 2nd and goal. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Corey Grant punching it in from a yard away. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown is fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. A gain of 3, second down. Again, it's Miller. A pretty nice gain there on the run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the agile move. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Jacksonville, they will indeed finish over 500 at 9-7. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for Houston, despite the loss here, they're going to wind up with a very good 11-5 overall mark. And as division champs, they will host a playoff game next week in the wild card round. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.